Do you struggle to be remembered by people you've just met? Or maybe you want to radiate more confidence and presence when meeting new professional contacts. Many of my clients and subscribers have asked me how to make a lasting first impression, especially when interacting professionally. How can we exude a memorable persona while presenting ourselves for the first time? Today's video will answer that question. We'll dedicate time together to consider how to make a lasting first impression that creates unforgettable professional connections. I'm Dr. Sarah Lobigaiga de Rodriguez, an international executive speaking consultant, voice coach, opera singer, and the founder of Cadenza. In today's video, you'll learn how your soft skills, words, and body language support your message so that you can build connections faster by presenting yourself in a way that sets people at ease, increases your good impression, and builds your reputation. We'll look at the top 5 ways to build up your professional first impression and what you can do from today to present a positive and confident profile for your new contacts. Why is a first impression the most critical moment of a meeting? I consider that the first impression you give off is one of the most critical moments when you meet a new contact because it has the scope to open doors rapidly if well done, or crush the chance if handled poorly. Meeting new people with composure and confidence does not come too easily to everyone, so if you're the kind of person who tries to avoid this setup, I think you'll find these 5 tips useful. It takes 4 to 10 minutes to form an accurate judgment of another person, especially if you receive ongoing streams of that person's behaviour. First impressions form at high velocity, following complex firing in your amygdala and posterior cingulate cortex, regions of the primitive brain, and tend to shape future decision-making profoundly, especially with readings of trustworthiness. Strategy number 1 is to conceal your phone. Yes, that's right, put it away. Your mobile phone will suck your social attention, eye gaze, and focus in the lead up to meeting a new contact. Instead, if you want to pay attention to your contact's conversation cues and show undivided attention out of respect for your new connection, you should put your phone away. Not just during the connection, but prior. If you find that you need your phone to fiddle on, distract yourself, or feel confident standing alone at a networking event waiting for someone to talk to you, or while awaiting your business contact, it will send off the message that you care for your device more than basic etiquette, which I'm sure is not the case. I frequently meet with new clients, business contacts, and organizations, and for this reason, I found an unusually helpful solution. In my consulting suites, for example, I always have a little bag that prevents me from having to walk around with my phone in my hand. This bag holds my fountain pen and a notebook, and it can be used to conceal my phone. If I'm waiting for a client to arrive for a session, it also means that the first view they catch of me is not me on my phone. In other cases, I'll also have a small book in my hand that I'm currently reading or referencing to amuse myself. I'd prefer a new contact spots me reading over scrolling. Reading prior to meeting a contact is also an effective way to calm your thoughts, think logically, ground your attention, get ready for the important conversation. Most humans scroll 11 kilometers of content a day, resulting in haphazard thinking, rapid eye movements, and the worst type of cognitive processing for a sharp memory and creative thinking that will waver your mental anchor. When in the critical moment of making a strong first impression, you need to have the capacity to draw on mental clarity to ask good questions, think on your feet, and retain information effectively. Because my work always requires me to meet with new contacts frequently, who will decide whether or not they trust me or not, I dedicate considerable attention to the first impression. I encourage you to do the same. Pop your phone away. Strategy number 2 is to always dress your best. You can never be too overdressed. If you're entering a professional meeting environment or event where you know you will meet new people, I recommend dedicating effort to plan, press, and present the best through your attire. Generally, the first 9 seconds of your meeting are when your contacts receive the visual stimuli that shape how trustworthy you are from facial cues, your attire, stance, and posture. Your new contacts will draw clues about how ethical, qualified, high-ranking, rational, and conscientious you are based on your appearance. For this reason, it's important to discover what works. You'll want to consider how to position your attire strategically. Don't overlook the capacity of your professional appearance to add value to your relationships. If you're wondering about the state of workwear and what the research is around the best clothing to wear at work to increase your executive presence and credibility, you should visit the Cadenza International website and pick up a copy of our heavily researched resource, the Workwear White Paper, which covers the most current research on corporate attire so that you can make better choices about the degree of formality you should go for, especially to establish a good first impression. You can claim the bonus Workwear White Paper via the link in the description box below. Manage your energy levels, movement, and composure. Visual distractions are common when we're nervous, fatigued, under pressure, or overstimulated. So now let's explore some tips for how you can manage your movements, energy levels, and composure when meeting new people. If you want to ensure you present as self-assured, elegant, and confident as possible, cultivate insight into self-awareness, especially of your energy and movement levels. Let me give you a scenario to see why this matters immensely. I'm a fast-paced, expressive and vivacious person who gets very energized at the thought of meeting someone new. Because of this, I know that my body moves into excitable, almost hyperactive mode when I know a new client is about to arrive. For this reason, it is important to manage my homeostasis, and I focus on regulating my emotions to increase clarity, composure and speech pacing. If I notice I feel very excited and hyperactive, I will do some quick skipping with my skipping rope to expend the excess energy. And yes, for this reason, I do keep a skipping rope hanging in my office for those moments when I get very excited to meet new people. It helps me just process that excess high-level interpersonal energy which will overstimulate my contact and be distracting. It's also great for some incidental movement. If I'm not in my office suites, I'll read my book or focus on walking at a slow pace to settle the excitement, because I know that too much expressive energy and heightened excitement can overwhelm my new contacts through creating excess facial, verbal and body language signals, which destabilizes the new connection. Since many humans in my observation are somewhat nervous when they meet someone new, this approach works well for me professionally. Sending slower, expansive movements with a calm manner does my contact a world of good and does not negate the enthusiasm and joy I have at meeting them. Take a moment to consider your personal situation. Are you the kind of temperament who needs to slow down your body when meeting new people? Or do you need to find a way to energize yourself to show increased enthusiasm and prevent sluggishness? Of course, there are many more topics on body language and forming a strong first impression that we don't have time to discuss today. But if you want more on this, you should check out these two videos on our channel. The first video is how to carry yourself with ideal posture for confident communication composure. And my second recommendation for you is how to be petite and powerful, personal branding and executive tips. Let's get into our next recommendation. It's vital to believe that you are interesting and have something beneficial to offer before meeting a new contact. I've met thousands of people for the first time in a one-on-one consulting setting from all walks of life, industries and positions, and I can assure you that not one of my professional contacts was boring. When you enter a new contact's view frame, they will form rapid deductions about your self-worth by reading visible and invisible cues. Target your self-esteem. A strong self-esteem is a critical signal that increases how likable new connections will find you. For this reason, incorporate strategies that make you look, sound, and feel confident, especially when making new connections. Know that you have something to offer and that your life is full of unique moments that mean you have something to share and talk about. This will enhance your professional and social connections and give you a more substantial chance at making a strong, good impression. But it's not all about how we look. We also need to learn to be creative conversationalists. Conversation is an unplugged skill that we can all work on daily. You'll perceive the unique value of a first-time meeting if you set up the goal of transforming small talk into a heartfelt conversation as soon as possible. Many people feel increased discomfort at first meeting with new contacts, especially at networking events, because they did not manage to learn how to fast-track conversations. Small talk is by nature pithy and small, relying on formalised conventions, interpersonal distance, and safe topics. In professional dealings, it's advisable to maintain formalised conventions, interpersonal distance, and safe topics. But you can do that without sticking to small talk. Here are a few ideas. First, you want to strive to find ways to get your conversation partner talking more than you do. Here, you'll need to be able to identify a topic that they feel safe, comfortable, intelligent, and interested on. Secondly, avoid interrogative questions, sarcasm, negative reflections, and complaints. These tones and approaches tend to disarm our contact and present our message as close-minded and less open. A warm, positive, and upbeat tone will do wonders for how competent your new contact finds you. Avoid why questions as well, as they often are posed as interrogations and can lead to the feeling of being put on the spot. Lastly, know that jokes are risky at first impression. We know that a joke can warm the relationship and reduce tension, but only if it registers as funny for everyone. For this reason, I suggest that you focus on being the most interested conversation partner rather than the funniest, because at the first point of contact, you won't have enough time to read your new acquaintance and make safe predictions about their humour style, processing speed, and IQ. Poorly understood jokes leave contacts flailing and can rapidly cause a disconnect. Focus instead on setting your contact at ease with maximum hospitality.
And now for a bonus recommendation.
Be ready with your elevator pitch. When I work with senior executives, entrepreneurs, researchers, and inventors, we usually dedicate a session to prepare a fascinating and conversationally natural elevator pitch, and then we rehearse it to ensure that it's integrated, conversational, memorable, authentic, and approachable. Your elevator pitch needs to be brief, relatable, and intriguing if you want to form an unforgettable impression. It's easy to disregard the need for an elevator pitch and assume it's enough to drop some generic remark about your industry, your job title, or a brief description of what you do. But that is not an elevator pitch. If you find yourself at a loss for words or feel bored even listening to yourself outlining what you do when you hear the famous question, "So what do you do?" that's a sign we can work on your elevator pitch. An elevator pitch is not a mechanical, bland thing. You'll know yours is ready if you feel excited to share it, and if you notice it creates an emotional hook point that makes your new contact want to learn more. Meeting new contacts is your unique opportunity to show who you are and what you stand for. But more than that, it's your once only chance to forge a long-lasting, memorable, professional first impression. You never know who you'll meet and what impact that connection can have. The power of a lasting first impression will open doors, establish your good name, and provide numerous social and professional rewards. Today, we've covered 5 new approaches to building a strong and memorable first impression. Did I miss any suggestions for establishing rapport and connection at the first meeting? I'd love to know what works for you, and I'm sure other members of our community will also enjoy picking up some of your ideas, so be sure to share them in the comments below. I'm utterly obsessed with boosting your communication confidence, which is why I scrupulously researched corporate communication tactics for over a decade and created the total fix for your career communication. And it all begins with my high performance communication audit. If you want to take your communication in daily life further, to increase your professional speaking polish and reputation so that you can achieve the career and business outcomes you want, you should consider this audit. I've left a link to all the details on my website, so be sure to check it out. And remember, we are Australian-based but work globally with clients all over the world. So don't hesitate to consider our speaking solutions for your big professional and entrepreneurial goals. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and click like. I hope you found this topic helpful and valuable. Thanks so much for watching. Ciao for now, and see you in our next episode.